Hello and welcome to Professor Luke O'Neill from Trinity College Dublin, a renowned immunologist, musician, writer, man of many talents. You're very welcome to speak with us at STEAM Education based here in UCC. So just to introduce, Seamus Tansey is the principal of Rathfeigh School in Meath. Seamus has been working supported by MSC, Medical Supply Company, for the last few years doing science in a box. And this year, because of COVID, we have Suzanne Zooming in the science classes. So Suzanne's been working with Seamus and the class there for the last month or two. So Seamus, I think you have a few children there who might have questions for Luke.
So we're all very excited, and even over the last few days, we've been making up questions for Luke.
And very happy to try to answer any questions.
I'm Grace, I'm in sixth class, and my question is, did you like science while you were in school?
I did, yeah. In fact, when I was your age, when I was in fifth and sixth class, I got into science. And what got me early on was nature. You know, I loved learning about different plants and animals and stuff. And that was the start of my big interest in science. And then I was also very interested in the mountains. Like, I'm from Bray, County Wicklow. And with the Wicklow Mountains got my imagination.
This is my son, Ruan, so if he gives a bad question, I'm going to be...
Absolutely, Ruan. Go for it. See if you can catch me out, Ruan. I'll be very impressed if you can catch me out.
Hello, this is a random question, but what's your favorite food?
My favorite food?
Yeah.
Wow, there's a great question to ask. I think my favorite food is probably, I like Indian food. Do you like Indian food? I like Indian food. So I like a nice curry. How about that? Curry chips. There's one of my favorite things, actually. So there you have it. Hiya, Teddy.
On a scale to 1 to 10, how bad is COVID compared to other diseases?
Well, that's another great question to ask. I'd say compared to other viruses, let's start with that, okay? It's probably about 8 out of 10, which is pretty high, right? A more dangerous virus is one called Ebola. That's in Africa. Many more people die of Ebola than of COVID. So it's not quite as bad as that, but then it's more dangerous than, say, you know, the flu, for instance. We thought it was like the flu, but it's more dangerous than flu. So there you have it. It's sort of towards the more severe end of the list.
This is a random question. Do you play any instruments?
I do. I'm glad you've asked me that, seriously. How did you know? I play the piano and the guitar. They're my two favorite instruments. I haven't got time these days. I'm too busy doing science. But when I get a chance, I play the guitar. Do you play any instruments yourself? What do you play?
I play the piano.
Oh, very good.
Hi, I'm JJ. I'm in sixth class. I just was wondering, do you have like a favorite quote?
A quote? Oh, good Lord! Now that's a tricky one. What's a favorite quote? Let me think for a minute now. Well, I've written my own books. You see, I can't quote from those. That'll be showing off too much. What my favorite quote would probably be, do what you love and to hell with the rest. How about that?
That sounds good.
Do what you love.
Like that.
Did you write that or somebody else?
No, I didn't write that. No, I can pretend I did, but I didn't.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sarah?
Hi, I'm Sarah and I'm in fifth class. I just wanted to ask, is your job ever scary?
Scary well, now we're very careful in our work. Behind me here is my lab. I've got a big laboratory there, you know, and sometimes we work with quite dangerous chemicals or even viruses. Can you imagine, you know? And then you got to wear gloves, you got to have a mask on, you got to be careful that you don't get the virus inside your body or the chemical, because that might harm you. We're very careful with the safety. And sometimes people get a bit, not scared, but they're a bit cautious. That's the word I would use, you know. But I wouldn't say we ever get really scared.
Thank you very much.
Hiya, Harris.
I'm Harris and I'm in 5th class. If you could teach us any science lesson, what would you teach us?
Oh, I'd teach you about the immune system, Harris. It's not the most important thing. You know the way your body has an immune system to fight germs?
Yeah.
So if a virus comes in or a bacteria, you have all these cells in your blood, called white blood cells, and they attack the virus. They attack the nasty germ and make it better. It's fantastic. So I teach you all about the immune system.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, I'm Isabel.
Hi, Isabel.
5th class. I heard you like biochemistry and you study biochemistry. Why is it you like that so much?
I'll tell you why, because when I began doing, first of all, I like biology. Start with that. And biology is the science of living things, you know? And then I really wanted to know, how do they work? What's take them apart, like what are they made of, you know? What biochemistry is the chemistry of life. You know? So for example, have you ever heard of DNA? DNA is this chemical in your body. That's what genes are made of, you know. And you copy the DNA, and then the DNA goes into the offspring, you know, and then you get another organism from the DNA. So I really wanted to know how things work at that level, and that attracted me to biochemistry.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Freddie and I'm in 6th class. Do you have any facts about COVID that most people wouldn't know?
Oh, these are very tough questions now. As I very well done, very fantastic. I think people probably don't know where it came from. And my information is it came from a bat for definite. But the bat mightn't have been in China. How about that, Freddie? I think the bat might have been in Vietnam or Laos, those countries. People think it might have come from those countries. So there's something people wouldn't be that aware of. There's a little piece of information that we're still trying to find it out for definite, but there's a fact for you that might be true.
Thank you.
Chloe.
Hi, I'm Chloe. I'm in 5th class. And
Hey,
what's
Chloe.
your favorite thing about your job?
My favorite thing about my job is very similar. So if you're a scientist, right, your job is to make discoveries, to find something new that nobody's ever seen before. Okay. So in my case, we're working on the immune system, and we're trying to discover things out about the immune system. And a few times we make a really brand new discovery. And the reason why that's my favorite thing is we've seen something for the first time that nobody in the world has seen. Can you imagine? And then is that going to be important for the immune system? So that's the best part of my job by far.
Hi, I'm Lucy and I'm in 5th class. I was wondering what type of music you like to play, like when you were in your band.
Yes, well, rock and roll, Lucy, rock and roll. We like playing rock. We don't play like reggae or pop or disco. We hate all that. So we're probably rockers, I guess, you know.
That's called old school, Lucy.
Yeah, the old school
Old
stuff.
school.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. What music do you like, Lucy? What's your favorite type of music?
I don't really know what it's called, but I just like kind of normal music.
Normal music.
Normal music, exactly. Yeah, we like normal music too. Yes. Our band wants to make people happy and get them dancing and get them enjoying it, you know. And you can't beat a bit of rock and roll for that, you know.
Thank you.
Nathan, come up next.
How do you do? My name is Nathan Michael Higgins, and I'm 13 years old in 6th class.
Yeah.
My
Hi,
question
Nathan.
to you, Luke, is do you have any idea on what size like a virus particle would be in nanometers, like roughly?
What size it is? Yeah. Oh, it's nanometers across, you know. So viruses are the smallest things we can see really in terms of how things affect living systems. So the virus would infect your lung cells. That's the key cell type, you know. It's probably 10,000 times smaller than the lung cell. You know, it's a tiny, tiny thing. So it literally, you know, nanometers, that's a billionth of a meter across, you know. It's probably about 5 nanometers across this virus. So it's very tiny.
Thank you, Luke.
Good question. Thanks, Nathan.
Hi, I'm Killian.
Hi, Killian.
5th class. My question was, have you ever broke a bone?
Have I broken a bone? Yes, I have, Killian. I broke my ankle about 6 or 7 years ago. I was jumping off a table onto the ground and I broke my ankle. Can you believe it? And then about a year later, I slipped on ice and broke a bone in my wrist. So there you have it, 2 bones, not big breaks. And then do you know what happened next? Then my immune system fixed the break. The immune system is there to repair damage, you see, and my immune system fixed me. So that was great.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Caitlin. I just wanted to ask, when you were younger, were you interested and did you play any sports?
Not really, no. I'm not a great guy for sports. That was one thing. I played a bit of football, played a bit of rugby when I was in school. And I used to row a bit, actually. I was in the Sea Scouts in Bray, where I grew up. I used to row. But no, I'm not a big sportsman. I spend my time doing science instead and playing music. They're my things, you know. And it's very important to have an interest and a hobby. It can be anything, you know. But for some reason, never got into sport. Isn't that a shame? Although I'll watch it on the telly occasionally. I'm a big fan of Ireland when we play football. You know, I love that. So, but no, I wouldn't say I did much sport.
Lucy's back again.
I was just wondering, what's the name of your band?
The name of the band, Lucy, is the Metabolics.
Oh,
Yeah, do you know why we're called that?
why?
Well, I'll tell you why. So about 3 or 4 years ago, there was a big immunology conference in Dublin. Now, wait to hear this. Did you know 1,000 immunologists came to Dublin in 2017 and nobody cared? Nobody even saw them. Can you imagine if they came now? They'd be very famous, wouldn't they? And that conference was all about metabolism. Now, metabolism is the way your body burns food. Okay, when you eat food, you burn the food to give you energy. And the immune system needs energy, you see. So the immune system will burn sugar, for instance. And so we decided to call the band the Metabolics because of metabolism. That's where the name came from. Maybe. There could be another meaning for the name, but I won't go into that.
I have a question. So, you know the way with the flu vaccine, you have to take it every year.
Yeah,
Say I get the vaccine today. When would I have to get it again?
that's a great question. And we don't know. See, science doesn't know everything, and we're still trying to find these things out. As I said earlier, you want to make discoveries to find things out. I'd love to discover when you might need a second shot, and we still don't know. We have a few ideas. We know that the immune system works for about 9 or 10 months at the moment, at least, So maybe a year after, you might need another shot. And then you may have heard of these new variants, have you? There's new strains, new types of virus cropping up. So we may need to vaccinate against these new variants in the future as well. That's something we're still trying to find out.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for the question. It was great.
Do you ever read your own books?
Do I read my own books? I did when I was correcting them to look for mistakes. You got to watch out for the typos. I had to read it. No, I try to avoid it. I'm working on 2 new books. I'm writing new books instead. How about that? I wouldn't read my own too often.
Good question.
When will they be out?
Yeah, hopefully in September. My next book is actually my diary all through COVID,
Wow.
I kept a very close record of all. I knew it was very important, so I kept the record. It's called Keep Calm and Trust the Science, right? And the subheading is A Remarkable Year in the Life of an Immunologist. So it's about my own knowledge and how I learn about the virus and my lab and all the research we're doing and all the media stuff. So that's a good book to buy for your father or your mother for Christmas.
Christmas, yeah, lovely job.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hi again. What's your theory about how the world will end?
How will the world end?
Good.
It'll end with a virus killing everybody. That's a joke. It won't be a virus. It'll end. Well, we know the sun's gonna burn out eventually. We know all about the stars and the sun. So the sun will eventually die, but it's hundreds of millions of years away. Before that happens, we may have evolved into much bigger animals. I don't know, But we think the world will come to an end eventually, just because the way stars and planets eventually die off, sadly. But it's many hundreds of millions of years away.
No, I'm on about the entire universe.
Oh, the universe. Well, the universe is expanding, isn't it, all the time, you see? So it may go on forever. We don't know.
Okay, thank you.
I'm back again. If you're in a room with a lifetime supply of food and water, and
Yeah.
you're only allowed one item, what would that item be? Yeah.
My guitar. I'd bring my guitar in.
Okay.
So I can play a bit of music and enjoy myself.
Hello. This is a very random question, but
Yep.
when you are younger in school, have you ever gotten like really big trouble?
This question.
Oh God, no! I was a very, very good boy in school. Very, very good. I was a bit of a talker, So sometimes they'd give out to me for talking too much. That was the worst thing I did. Nothing worse than that.
Or at least he's not going to tell you on the
No.
air anyway.
I'm not gonna say that. That's private.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So I was just wondering, it's me again, Nathan.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering, what's your take on general relativity, in your opinion?
General relativity. I'm not a physicist. How can I answer that for crying out loud? I believe it's true. Let's put it that way. Okay, so I believe it's true.
My friend and I, Freddie and I, done an experiment once where we synced 2 watches and ran, and one stayed still and one ran. And when we brought them back about 5 minutes later after running, they were about 30 seconds out of sync.
Yeah, I reckon that's not possible. The watch, when you were moving, the watch stopped because it was a mechanical thing. You need to go really fast to affect time. So unless you were in a rocket, you wouldn't see much of a difference. But there's the evidence for relativity for definite. They did, as you know, they did that experiment, didn't they? And there's the second thing that's really interesting is that if something moves, it contracts. It loses mass, and that was shown by scientists to prove it. Because as you probably know, it was a theory initially. It was a theory Einstein came up with, but then the scientific evidence said this theory is correct. It's the weirdest thing, isn't it? It's the spookiest thing, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
So it's really mind-blowing stuff. That's a great question to ask because it's true. It's amazing.
Thanks, Luke.
No problem.
Hi. My question is, did you have somebody who encouraged you a lot when you were younger starting science, and if so, who?
I did, absolutely, yes. So when I was in secondary school, I had a fantastic biology teacher. His name was Fran Mooney, and he really inspired me. And I reckon if he hadn't been such a good teacher, I mightn't have done biology, you know? I'd also got English teacher. Those two teachers were the ones who really got my imagination and really were encouraging, you know? And then I managed to bring the two together by writing books. It's great, you know? So the two, so I owe an awful lot to those two teachers.
Up your back then. What's your favorite animal?
Favorite animal? Human beings.
Oh, yeah. I like it.
Good answer.
Back again.
I'm
This
ready.
argument that's been going on in the class for a while now. Do you pronounce it Nike or Nike?
Nike or Nike? I couldn't say. If I say that, people would think I'm endorsing that product and making money off it. I couldn't possibly answer that one. Yeah.
Okay. I think that's all the questions. Let's go. Just one question myself, Luke, before you go. You've listened to over the last year, Luke. I suppose one thing that people have said, your positivity about life and the coronavirus in general, was you're all very positive. I was just wondering, is there a link between people who are positive and longevity of life?
Absolutely, James. Very much so. We know this, and lots of science supports that, you know. So there's no question having a positive outlook on life helps your immune system. The reason is because if you're stressed, especially with low level chronic stress, we call this, that's very damaging for the immune system, you see. And we know why. Your body makes a hormone called cortisol, which turns off your immune system when you're stressed, you know. So if you try to maintain a positive attitude, try to relax, do stuff you enjoy, you know, very important. And that can include talking to your friends or cycling a bike or doing sport or whatever it is. All that's beneficial. And a healthy immune system will keep you healthy then, you know. And obviously, if you're not healthy, that'll shorten your lifespan. That'll shorten your life, and you get at risk of disease, as you see. So try and keep a positive outlook and try to. And now, a bit of stress is good, though. You can't be completely, just enjoying yourself all the time either. A little bit of stress wakes the immune system up, but trying to avoid chronic stress, that's bad for it. So anything that you enjoy doing will limit the chronic stress.
Not easy for a school principal at the moment.
No, indeed,
sure, but
it's scientifically proven. Being a principal takes 15 years off your life. That's a joke, James. I'm only kidding.
In that case, I have about 2 or 3 years left in my life. Thank you.
You're looking very healthy there.
We'll end on that high note. So I think that's it from us, I suppose. So Luke, thank you very much, and Suzanne.
Yeah. No homework tonight, kids. No homework tonight.
I thank you, Luke.
Thanks a million, everybody.
Thanks.
That was great. I've never had questions like that. I'll tell you. Thanks a million. Thanks, Suzanne.
Thanks. It was nice to meet you. Yeah, thanks so much.
Thanks, Alice. Yeah, cheerio.